So, hello everyone. My name is Becky with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today we are going to be doing our command overview. So, we're going to be walking through the ins and outs of command. I will go ahead and give you a fair warning that this class moves pretty fast. There is a lot of information to cover in not a very long amount of time. So, it's pretty fast paced. If you have any questions as we go through, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. Unless it's something that I can answer really quick right away, I will save them for the very end. I'll save some time at the end to make sure we can get through questions. I just want to make sure we have enough time to get through the information that we need to get through, and then we can stick around for questions for a few minutes after. So if you have those questions, please drop them in the chat as we go through. If you are watching this back on recording, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to us via email. Our email is support@scottleroymarketing.com. Just dropped that in the chat for everyone here as well. You are more than welcome to email us with any questions you may have or any snags you may run into. We're more than happy to help out via email as well. Today's class recording will be available on our YouTube channel within 24 hours. I'm going to drop that link in the chat for everyone here as well. When you are on our YouTube channel, we do always recommend that you look for the most recent videos. Things are always changing both with command and the services that we offer here at Scott Leroy Marketing. The easiest way to find those most recent videos is using this videos tab right here. And then those videos will populate in reverse chronological order. So you will see the most recent videos up at the top, and the further down you scroll, the older those videos will become. If you are searching for classes, for example, today's command overview, you'll notice that they do not always pull in order. So you'll just want to make sure you're keeping an eye on those dates right here, the timestamps, so that you know that it's up to date, because sometimes the ones from 3 years ago or 2 years ago may pull up to the top just with how the algorithm works. So just keep that in mind if you are searching. Just keep an eye on those dates so you can make sure you have up-to-date information. If for some reason you are seeing a video that looks outdated and you can't find a more updated video, please reach out to us via email. Again, support@scottleroymarketing.com. We'd be more than happy to take a look at those videos to see if we have an updated one we can share with you and provide updated guidance there. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and jump over to command. So if you are logging into command for the very first time, you're going to want to go to agent.kw.com. Just dropped that in the chat for you as well. And it will bring you to a screen that looks just like this. So you'll want to enter your username. Your username is not case sensitive, so you can make this all caps, all lowercase. It does not matter. Your password is going to be case sensitive, so just keep an eye on that. If you are copying and pasting it from somewhere, especially if you are like double clicking to select all of the text, it can sometimes not grab special characters, or sometimes it will grab an extra space before or after the password. If there is an extra space in the password bar, it will give you an error saying it's an incorrect password. So you'll just want to keep an eye on that. An easy way to do that is just to click this eye icon right here, and it will show you what you have entered for your password. And then you'll be able to make sure that you do not have any extra spaces and that you have all of the characters that you need. If you need to reset your password, you can just click this Forgot Password button right here. It's going to send a verification. Actually, it'll ask you to enter your username. And then once you do that, it will send a verification code to your password recovery email that you have on file. So that recovery email is going to be your personal non-KW email. Due to fairly recent security updates, they don't let it be a KW email anymore. So unless you have had a KW email on there for a very long time and it didn't force you to change it, that's going to be your personal non-KW email. If you are unable to get emails at whatever your current recovery email is, or you're not seeing emails come through and you just need to see what the email is, you can either reach out to us via email, again, support@scottleroymarketing.com, or you can reach out to your Market Center staff, as they'll be able to check on that for you and can update that on their end. So yeah, we'll go ahead and click sign in here with our logins here. Sometimes if you are logging in for the first time, if you have changed your recovery email recently, or if you've just, logged in on a new device, or they do it every once in a while to make sure that it's still you. They're going to send a verification code to that recovery email on file. So let me go grab that real quick. You'll just grab it from your email and then you'll just enter it in here and click continue, and it will get you signed in here. So once you're signed in, I'll give it a second here. All right. Once you are signed in, you'll see your home page, which will look very similar to this. Everyone's can look a little bit different since this part is fairly customizable. To customize your home page, you'll just click customize in the top right corner, and then you can select what widgets you want to see. So maybe we don't need to see our sponsored events here. And maybe we want to put our goals up at the very top and our most active contacts at the very top as well. Then we can apply it and we'll see those changes go into effect immediately on our homepage. So it'll rearrange those. Your leads never contacted, recently active, birthdays, and anniversaries. Those 4 will always stay right there. They can't be adjusted or moved. So you will always see those 4 right there. We're going to go ahead and we are going to work our way across the top, and then we'll make our way down the left-hand side of command in a couple minutes once we get our way through the top. So starting out, you're going to see command right here. And that's just where we currently are, and we'll circle back to this more in detail. Next, you have connect, which is going to be a built-in learning resource library for you. So you'll have your learning home where there's some, if you need to continue learning, so if you have a video you've started and haven't finished, or something along those lines, you'll see those here. You'll also see some recommended self-study courses, any of your bookmarks, some recommended articles or videos for discovering more. So, time management, things like that. And then also some quick links that are going to be some popular things you'll want to access as well. Up at the top, you can go to My Learning right here, and you'll see again your bookmarks. Under continue learning, if you have again started watching maybe a video or something and you haven't finished the video, but you haven't like bookmarked it or anything, it would show up under continue learning, which is great if you're anything like me and you start to watch a video and you accidentally close out the tab and forget where you were. Then you can just come back to the continue learning and you'll be able to find it and pick up where you left off. Next, we have completed learning, which is going to be pretty much the same thing except for videos or articles you've finished. You would see those pop up here as well. Next, we have the browse all, and this is where you can go in and find articles and classes and videos on just about anything and everything. So they have KW University courses. So they have a bunch of different things through here. If you're in leadership, they have this leadership hub. And then they have some resources for listings, working with buyers, lead generation, market moment, command. They have a lot of different options through here. So definitely take a look at this and utilize those resources. They're going to be super helpful. One that I do want to highlight right here is going to be this Welcome New Associates section. If you are looking for your Market Center logos or just the KW logos, you'll find those under this Welcome New Associates section right here, specifically this New Associate Essentials. Now you can also scroll up to the top and just search here for New Associate Essentials, and it would pull up right here. So we can grab that. I'll show you where you can find those real quick. So once you pull that up, you'll see the red label store, benefits, profit share, and then your logos and branding. So we're going to want to go here. Give it a second to load. There we go. So once you're here, you're going to see some brand resources, your KW Identity and Style Guide. That is going to be a place where you can find the color codes, like the hex codes for the colors. For the KW red and the black they use and the grays they use. So that's going to be helpful, as well as it will have some guidelines to make sure you're staying within KW compliance, to make sure you're staying up to date there. Ownership statement, you can review that. Onboarding guide. So this primary logo collection, that is going to be just the Keller Williams logo. It won't be your Market Center logo, just the Keller Williams standard logo. If you scroll down, you'll see Market Center logos, and you can either search for your Market Center by Market Center name or Market Center number. So if you, for example, we'll go here. So we can click on that logo right there. So once we search for it, then you're going to see it preview on the right-hand side. So that's what the logo will look like. If you download this logo right here, it's going to download a zip file for you. And that will have a bunch of color combinations as well as file types. So it'll have generally JPEG, PNG, EPS, and a bunch of different options in there. So that's going to be a great option, as well as they have some different color combinations. So if you're just looking for all white or the red, gray, black, you'll be able to find those in here. And then down below, you'll also find those Keller Williams logo variations here. So we have those primary logos, and then we have all the different variations there. So ones that include the word realty or real estate, or just the informal KW logo, we have options. You can download those. Again, these are all going to download some zip files that'll have different formats for you and some different color combinations usually. So just something that good resource to have, know where it is. Again, it's just in your Connect, and it's just going to be in the new associate essentials. So you can search there. I know I've had a couple people join since I was pointing that. So if you just search new associate, you'll find it right here. That's how we got there. Alrighty. One last thing under Connect is this calendar on the left-hand side. That's going to be the events calendar. Once it loads, there we go. So you will see Market Center events as well as events for your region or KWRI. So you can go in and look at those. Now, I will say if you are not seeing any events through here, that's not usually something to be worried about. Not all market centers do use this events calendar. So if you're not seeing any events here, I would just recommend reach out to your market center staff, and they can help get you set up with your market center's event calendar, because not a lot of market centers do use this, to my knowledge. So just something to point out. You can definitely check it and see if your market center is using it, but if not, just reach out to them. They can get that set up for you. We'll go back to our command home, so we're starting in a familiar place. Next on my screen, you are going to see Command MC. Most, if not all of you, will not see Command MC. So this Command MC is for Market Center staff specifically. So we're not going to jump into that today. I just wanted to point out why it might look different on my screen from yours. If you are in Market Center staff and you have questions about Command MC, again, please reach out to us via email, support@scottleroymarketing.com. We're here to support you as well. I'm just not going to jump into that today for the sake of timing and not everyone needing it. So next thing you'll see on my screen is this KWIQ with the stars next to it. That is going to be KW's built-in AI assistant. So you can ask questions about command or questions about real estate business in general, and it will give you an answer here. It is AI, so always review it for accuracy, as good standard practice there. But it is helpful if you just need a quick answer about something within command or real estate in general there. Next, you'll see this little storefront logo here, and that is going to be the KW Marketplace. I'm going to open it up in a new tab. So the Marketplace was designed, so when Command was built, it was built by agents for agents. And so they wanted there to be a place where you could integrate your different platforms into Command so that you could have it all, interacting with the same platform and make sure everything works together as smoothly as possible. With that, they have a bunch of integrations you can find in here under this Technology and Integrations tab down here. One of the most popular ones is going to be your Twilio account. So Twilio is going to be a texting service that you can use to text your clients through Command. And that one is a very popular platform. You don't need to use it if you don't want to send text automatically, but it is a great option. A lot of agents do like to use that. You'll also see some API Nation integrations here. So if you need to send your Google contacts, Facebook lead ads, and things like that, you can definitely take a look at those and have those integrate into your command. Next, you're going to see this notification bell right here. that is where you are going to get notifications about any tasks that you have due, or maybe your opportunities you've submitted for compliance to your market center and you're waiting to hear back. You'll get a notification here when those compliance documents are approved or if they've been rejected, and the compliance coordinator has left a note for you on what needs to be changed, fixed, anything along those lines. You would get notifications here that would allow you to go see that opportunity directly and see what's going on there. You can filter by the platform or the different applet you have access to. So everyone's is going to look a little bit different. If you have Market Center staff access, you will see a few more, such as this associates or this admin applet. If you're on a team, you may see some team things through here as well. Or you may see fewer than that if you're not on a team and not in Market Center staff. So that can vary per person. If you want to control your settings here, you can go up to the settings cogwheel in the top right corner. And it will bring you to your notification settings through here. Again, this is going to be based off of the different applets you have access to, so you might not have all of these. We can look at our contacts right here, since pretty much everyone should have access to that one. That'll be fairly standard. So I'll go to our contacts, and then you'll see you have these options. So you can toggle your notifications on or off in 3 different ways. So if you have the mobile app, that will apply for these last 2. If you do not have the Command mobile app, you would probably just use these desktop in-app notifications here. But if you do have the mobile app, you can turn on in-app notifications as well as push notifications, which would pop up on your device when you get that notification. So you can toggle those on or off based off of the notifications that you want to see. We'll go back to our command home here. Next thing you'll see is your headshot with your name right here. When you click on that, a drop-down menu will appear. The first thing you'll see is My Profile. Under My Profile, you are going to see all of your internal information. So this is really only going to be visible to your Market Center staff and other KW agents through the Referrals applet. But pretty much everything external is going to be through your marketing profile, which we'll circle back to in a little bit, just with where it's placed in command. But we can go ahead and we can look at this. So you can go in and adjust your About Me information. I will say that if you, it might look a little bit different than ours. This is a demo account, so it doesn't necessarily have all of the full features as yours would have if you are activated as an agent. So you will see in the top right corner, it doesn't show on mine right now, but you will see a toggle that asks if you want your information to display on kw.com. It'll have yes or no. If you want people to be able to find you in the KW consumer app, or you want people to be able to find you when searching on kw.com, you want to make sure that is toggled to yes. I will point out that if you have just switched that over to yes, it can take up to 72 hours to display on the consumer app and up to 24 or 48 to display properly on the website. So it can take a little bit of time to update fully. So it might not be immediate, just so it can make sure all of that data transfers out there. So yeah, so next we'll see this About Me section here. So you'll see your name, your profile photo, your biography. Again, these are going to be internal primarily, so what your Market Center staff would see, or also what other KW agents would see when looking through the Referrals applet. You do have another applet or another profile that will have, you can use a different profile photo for, or a different biography. So they can be different, and I'll again show you that one in a little bit as well. Next, you'll see this real estate license section here. So if you have been activated as an agent in your Market Center, you'll see your real estate license right here. It'll have your license number, the state you're licensed in, as well as it should have the expiration date. If any of that information is wrong, if your license number is wrong, if the expiration date is wrong, you'll just need to reach out to your Market Center staff. That needs to be updated on their back end. So you would just need to reach out to them and they can get that updated for you. Easy peasy. But that one can't be adjusted on the agent side. Left-hand side, you're going to see this My KW section here. And through here, you'll be able to set up your KW email. So you can click this Manage Your KW Email. You'll see if you already have one set up, it would populate right here. And as well, that's where you can go create your KW email aliases if you want an email alias there. You'll see your login credentials here. So you can edit your username, you can reset your password, and this is where you can edit your password recovery email when you are inside your account. So again, that email that it would send a code to if we were resetting our password or we're logging in on a new device or something along those lines. You just want to make sure you do have access to it. It does have to be unique to your account, so it can't be used across multiple accounts. And then also, it just has to be non-KW. So just some things to keep in mind there. Again, you want to make sure you have access to that. If you cannot get into your account because you have the wrong password recovery email here, again, just reach out to your Market Center staff and they can help get that updated for you. You'll see your personal information down below. So your contact information, your KW communications email, and we'll talk a little bit more about the KW communications email. You do also want to make sure this is an email you have access to, especially if you want to export contacts or things along those lines. That's where those email notifications would go to. So you'll just want to make sure you have access there. Down below, and a new feature, you're going to see sessions and devices. So you can see any devices that are currently logged into your account. So you can see it would have generally the location, how long ago it was, whether it's your current session or not. And you can revoke those or you can leave it logged in, depending on if it's one you recognize or not. So just an added security feature that you can kind of check on there. Further down on the left-hand side, you'll see the My Affiliations section. You may see one that says My MLS Listings or just MLS Listings. If you are part of an MLS, you generally want to see the MLS Listings section right there. It would be above your Market Center. That just means your MLS ID has been added to the back end of Command. That is one other thing that needs to be adjusted by your Market Center staff. Can't be done on the agent side. But your Market Center staff can add that pretty easily. So you can reach out to them and they can get that added for you if you are not seeing it. And then you'll see your Market Center right here. You'll see your roles. So you'll see generally that you're in there as a licensed agent. If not, again, that's going back to your license number being added. So your Market Center staff would do that. Rest assured, beyond this point, it's pretty much all things you can adjust. It's just this profile has a couple things that would need to be adjusted by your Market Center staff. I know it sounds like a lot at first. If you are in here already activated as an agent, this screen will look a bit different. You will see your cap information here, so your royalty, as well as your company dollar, and a little graph that shows you how far you are to hitting your cap. So you'll just see some of that information through here. That's how you would access that. I'll go back out to our command home. Next thing under our drop-down menu is going to be the marketplace, which we already looked at when we looked at this storefront icon here. Next, we have our settings. There's a couple things in our settings, such as connecting our DocuSign, so your signature providers, so DocuSign, .loop, soon it will be Lone Wolf will be added in here. So you'll have those platforms you can connect through here, as well as connecting for your Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for post scheduling. You can connect those through here. You can connect Google Calendar and Gmail to automatically sync those interactions with your database. And then command email down below. Usually you'll be able to manage your settings here. This is temporarily unavailable by KW. We don't have an ETA currently on when that will be available again. You can still send emails through command. That's a pretty common misconception that you can't send it when it says temporarily unavailable. You can, you just usually can't update the sender name or sometimes the reply to email. So for those, you can reach out to KW support and they should be able to help update that for you while it's temporarily unavailable. You can also connect your Twilio through here, like we talked about earlier, to be able to send and receive texts directly through command. you can subscribe to Twilio there. On the left-hand side, under our general settings, we'll see our notification settings, which we were looking at just a bit ago under this notification bell. It's going to be those same settings there. Command settings, you'll see your contact settings, so your contact archive. If you are looking to do a database wipe, want to see all of your contact tags, as well as some lead management options here, database cleanup, any custom fields you've created. Opportunity settings, so those email update settings, and then those tags in the archive. Reporting, so your activity tracking, just kind of like the times and dates here. The default campaign account, if you are especially on a team, is generally when you would see those, especially if you're the rainmaker or you have those unlimited permissions on the team. Smart plans, the time and date settings for your smart plans, time zone for your tasks, as well as import and export logs for contacts through there. Connect settings, it shows the marketing profile here. It actually was moved a couple months ago. So you can go directly to the marketing profile here. It's now in the website's applet, so I'm going to show you that when we get over to the website's applet. Global settings, your languages and contacts. And then again, Command MC is for Market Center staff. So those additional settings would be through there as well. Next, you'll see this command training button right here. That's going to bring you to Connect and those articles we were seeing earlier for command training. And then finally across the top, we have this question mark in the top right corner. You click on that, you have some help and information options here. So your guided tours. So if you want to take a guided tour through command, Keller Williams University, that is going to bring you to answers.kw.com, where they have articles on how to do pretty much anything and everything in command. There's this option to chat with support. It will allow you to start a live chat with them, and you can, talk to them through there. And then finally, you'll see this post an idea. When you click on that, it will bring you to ideas.kw.com. If you were here with me a little bit ago when we were talking about the marketplace, I mentioned that command was built by agents for agents. With that in mind, they wanted to keep it as a platform that works for their agents. They want it to work for you. So in there, they built in this ideas portal where you can go in, you can submit ideas on features that you want to see in command, things that would make your life easier. You can also vote on different ideas that other agents have posted, and that will allow KW to know that it would be useful to a large number of agents. They can't guarantee that all of these will be implemented. However, they do always go through and read all of your suggestions, so it won't be lost there. So you can definitely go in and submit an idea, look and see if someone else has submitted the same idea. Again, the more votes the same idea has, the more powerful it's going to be. All right, so back over to command, kind of worked our way across the top. Now we're gonna power through this left-hand side, also known as our applets menu. If you are unfamiliar with all of them, you can click this red square with the white KW and it will expand that whole menu. You can also just click it again to minimize it. So we'll go ahead and we'll go to our first applet. It's going to be our contacts applet. And this is going to be where we add our database. So you'll see all of your contacts through here, any that you have created, added, imported. You can import contacts directly, so you can use a CSV file to import those. They do have a template that they recommend you using, as it does tend to import most accurately and winds up being less of a hassle in the long run, even though it's a little more work up front. This is also something that you can reach out to us via email, and we can help reformat to match this template and then import them for you, so you don't have to worry about that hassle on your own. You can just reach out to us and we can help get that done for you. So then we can help import that. We can also create contacts individually. The only required field is going to be a first name. So you just need a name in this full name field right here. So we can say that, and then we can add relationships that will hyperlink those contacts to each other. So you would be able to link them. So we'll go grab that one. Then we can change the relationship through here if we want to. Our primary email address, phone number, the lead source. So we can select that from a list. So we can say we, heard about them from an agent or Brivity or Boomtown. I'm just grabbing a couple that I'm seeing as I go through here. You can also select from your contacts. So maybe you heard about them from another contact through there. So you can fill that out. Tags, you can add as many as you want. Tags are going to be probably the easiest way for you to sort your database and kind of just organize it. I do see a question related to this. Can you create contacts on the mobile app? Also, you should be able to. I can check and see if I can grab an article for you at the very end about that one. So, but yeah, so you can add as many tags as you want. So we can just start typing those tags here. If you do not have the tag created that you already want, you can just, again, start typing and then it will just have you, it'll have this create as new button right here. And you can choose the color that you want for the tag and we'll just click create tag. And then it will be applied to this contact and you can use that for any additional contacts or anything like that. Additional contact information, you can add more email addresses, phone number, you can add their mailing addresses through here, as well as link their social media profiles right here as well. The About section, you can add their legal name, description, birthdays and home anniversaries. You can add more relationships down here. So up at the top, when we added that relationship, it only lets us add one. So generally that would be your more primary relationship, although it's not going to be distinguished as that. But if you scroll down to the bottom, you can just add more relationships through here. And then we have custom fields. Custom fields can be a lot of fun. So you can create all of these custom fields. You'll start out with no custom fields. So these ones are ones that we have created. But you can go in, a lot of agents, for example, like to do a pie giveaway come November. So you can do their favorite pie, fill that out as you have the information, or add some custom fields. So we can, again, start typing. So their favorite candy or, favorite superhero, favorite restaurant or something along those lines. So maybe if you want to do a personalized closing gift or something like that, you can kind of just have that information about the client through here. And we have one, I think, for hobbies as well. So you can kind of just go through and add those in here. You have the same option where if you just type and it's not existing already, we'll just go, sorry, there we go. Once you do that, it will have you be able to create it as new, and then you can select the field type. So text field, text area, drop down date, checkbox number, URL, percentage, or currency. You can add those in there. And then you would just go ahead and you can create the contact here. Once you have created the contact, you'll see all of the information you've added in. You'll see the link to the other contact like we talked about when we added that relationship. So we can click on that and it will bring us over to our other contact that's linked there. And then on this one, you can send one-off emails. Just click on that email address and you have the command email desktop. So that would allow you to send it through if you have, Outlook or, whatever email provider, Gmail, I believe as well. You can click on that and it will pull up whatever your desktop email is. If they've unsubscribed, you can send a resubscribe email or unsubscribe them from all of the emails. So you have options through there. You can edit the contact. It will pull up the exact same one that we had here. So it'd have all of that same editing information that you can go in and change. Down below, you'll see the neighborhoods. So if they have a primary address on file, it will automatically assign their primary neighborhood. But otherwise, you can go in and add additional neighborhoods through here. So if they are signed up for your, you have a monthly neighborhood nurture or something along those lines, they would see information for all of these neighborhoods that you add here. additional contact information. So you'll just go through and you'll see all of that information through here. On the right-hand side, you'll see a timeline, and it will provide an AI summary when you have more than 5 events on that timeline. So you can go through and see your entire timeline with that contact, any tasks that were created, any smart plans, any notes you've made, anything like that. You'll just kind of get an overview here so you can see those through there. Next, you'll see opportunities. So you would see any opportunities that are linked to this contact. Same thing with smart plans. You would see any that are currently linked to a smart plan. You can add them to a smart plan through there. Any tasks that are assigned to this contact. So those can be assigned either through smart plans, opportunities, or just individually creating a task through here. But you would see them here as well as in your tasks applet. You can add notes about your contacts, and you can set them up on a saved search through here. You would just click create saved search, fill out this information. Once you fill all of that out, it'll ask what email address to use for them. And then once you've set all of that up, it's going to send an email to that contact, to that email address you set up for them. And it's going to basically ask them to verify that they want to be set up on that saved search. And that they're good to receive those emails, and then they'll start receiving them once they've accepted that. All right, so we'll go back over to our contacts and cover a couple other things here. We have filters through here. That is one of, I think, the things that Command does best, especially in the contacts applet, or what KW did best in the contacts applet, is that there are filters for pretty much everything. So you can always find those contacts that you are looking for, even if maybe you don't remember their name, or you want to group them together. There's so many options to filter those through here. So you have the contact type, if they're contacts or if they're only leads. You can filter by tags through here. Again, you can have a ton of tags for contacts, so you can have those filtered. The lead source, so where you heard about them. Agent site connection, so if they've signed up, created an account on your website. Neighborhoods, recently active. There's a ton of different filters through here. And if those aren't enough, we also have advanced filtering up in the top. It's going to have pretty much the same categories, but you have the option to exclude tags from here as well, or exclude other details through here. So maybe we want to include this tag and we want to exclude, we'll go with that class 0309 that we added just a minute ago. So we can just select our field here, go down to tags, and we can just say we want it to exclude those contacts. Or if the field is empty, you can do that. And then select tags. We can just start typing. We'll go there. We can select that and apply it, and you'll see it will filter it to remove that contact. And so then you can go in and just kind of filter it down to exactly what you're looking for with your contacts. And then we have smart views, where if you do like that filter, maybe you're working your way through a list of contacts that you have filtered, you can set it as a smart view right here. So a smart view is just going to allow you to come back and view those contacts in the same way again, without having to reapply all of your filters. It also applies if you have changed it to view up to 500 contacts at a time. If you've rearranged any of these columns, moved them around, those will apply in the Smart View as well. Even if you've sorted it by last name, you can do that. You can save it as a change for the Smart View. And when you come back to it, it will be in that exact same view. If you set it as default, it'll be in that same view. And otherwise, you can just toggle between those Smart Views here. So that is super helpful. One more thing, we have a hidden action menu. So when you select multiple contacts at a time, you will see these options appear down below where you can do some bulk actions. So we can add a tag to all of these contacts together, and we can add them all to a smart plan, add notes to each of them, or add a note to all of them, send them all a one-off email, archive all of them together. More options, we can export those contacts only individually. There's a bunch of options. So you can go through and you can select multiple contacts at a time. One last thing I forgot to cover here is these 3 dots up here where you can export those contacts. When you click export all contacts, it's going to send a link to your KW Communications email. You'll have about 24 hours to download the file from that link before it expires. So if it does expire, you can come just request it again and it'll be sent to your email. All right, moving over to our tasks applet is the next one. It's going to be a built-in to-do list. So again, they can come from opportunities, from smart plans. You'll see it linked here. So if it's linked, this one's linked to an opportunity. So are these ones, if we scroll down, we should see this one's linked to a contact. We created it through contact. You would be able to see whether it's linked directly to an opportunity or a contact. And then you can also see what it was created by. So if it was created by you directly, if it was created by an opportunities checklist, or if it was created by a smart plan, you would see those appearing right through there as well. So it's a built-in to-do list. You can mark them as complete as you go through. Once you've marked them as complete, you can see them in this completed tab. And if you archive them, you can see them in the archived tab as well. Next, we have smart plans, which are going to be a set it and forget it type plan. So you can create them custom from scratch, where it can automatically send emails for you. It can assign tasks for you. If you have Twilio connected, it can automatically send texts for you. There's a lot of options in here. So you can see any that you've created right here. There's also a library where people can publish their smart plans. So you'll see some featured smart plans. You'll see the Keller Williams smart plans. They have 12 different ones. 2 of them, well, these were previously called Ignite ones, and now they've called them Breakthrough ones. But you can use those as well if you want. But they have a bunch of options through there. And then there's top rated ones that have just been created and published. So you can kind of just go look through these smart plans here. You can also search by your smart plan name or the author name or description. So you can play around, look at those. If you want to review the smart plan, you'll just click View Steps, and it will tell you what each of the steps are. You can then add it to your smart plan library right here. Then you can go view it in your smart plans. You would just see it appear here. You can edit them to see the details. This one's a Keller Williams plan that I just checked. So the limiting is edited on most of the KW plans. So just keep that in mind. But any that you've downloaded from someone else other than Keller Williams, you'll have ability to go in and edit those, change them a bit, make sure it's not branded with another agent's information, and things along those lines. Next, we have our referrals applet. And I will say, I know I'm moving really fast right now, and we have a good bit more to cover. We do have classes that cover all of these applets more in depth. So I'm kind of skimming at this point. But we have individual classes for all of these applets through here, really. So you can take a look at those if you're looking for more in-depth on those. So you have your referrals, so you can see pending invites, pending referrals, any that you've sent or received through here. Under map, this is a great place to find referral agents. So you can scroll to zoom in on an area and find agents. You have to kind of zoom in a bit. When you first zoom in all the way, so when it's in production mode, this is going to be based off of properties that have sold in the past year, so the past rolling 12 months. So these are properties that have sold. So you would see these map pins are all going to be those addresses. So you can hover over them. Let's see, we should get one. We probably have to zoom in a little more. There we go. So you'll see when you hover over one, you'll see that name highlighted on the right-hand side. And that's going to be the agent that sold the property there. So that's great if you have a client, for example, looking for a specific, if they're looking for a specific neighborhood, you can go find an agent that sold the property in the neighborhood in the past 12 months, and that'll give you a good idea there by production. You can look by market center. We can zoom out, and that'll kind of show you all of the agents, even ones that don't have the production in the past 12 months by market center here. You can see agents in your network, and then you can also view referral patterns. So you can see where referrals are usually coming from and going to. Through here, you can change that center point location to kind of see where you might want to find those referral partners through there. Next, we have our opportunities applet through here. This is where you're going to create and track those transactions from start to finish. It'll be where you upload your compliance documents for signatures. So you'll see what's called your pipelines. So listings, buyers, and leases. Each pipeline has different phases and different stages within those phases. I do see a question about our more in-depth classes. Those are also available on our YouTube channel, or you can access them live. I'll drop the link for our training calendar here at the end too, so you can go see what we have scheduled through there as well. You can view all of your opportunities directly through here. So you can go here and see them all listed out without having to go through the individual pipelines through here. If you just want to quick search for them, find them through there. Next, we have campaigns, where we have the option to create paid ad campaigns. So you can create, there's multiple different options for your paid ads. You can do Facebook paid ads, Instagram paid ads, Google display and Google search ads, as well as TikTok ads. So the Google and TikTok ads, I will go ahead and say, those are done through a global KW platform. So those wouldn't be through your individual accounts. The Facebook and Instagram, you can run when you connect your personal or your business accounts to them. You have email campaigns. So those are good for sending one-off emails. If you want to send a big mass email, you can do that through your email campaigns. Direct mail campaigns, that's when you want to send out postcards and you can target either specific areas, or you can send it to your database. So you have options through there, as well as social post campaigns through here. So that's where you can create and schedule out social posts to Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter or X through here. So you can go in and create those, schedule them out up to 364 days in advance. Next, we have our reports applet, where we can find reports. So for example, if you want to find your email report, so people who have been interacting with your emails, if they've been delivered, undelivered, opened, clicked, replied to, unsubscribed, you would see those metrics here. This is for the month, so we can go back here and you can kind of see what it would look like there. But you can see the percentages that are delivered, opened, clicked, unsubscribed through there, and it's broken down by the different applets as well. Next, we have our designs applet, where you can create different designs. It's very similar. It's pretty similar to Canva. You also have access to KW Canva Pro. So you have options there. I saw there was a question about creating flyers. And you can do that either through here, just click this create design button. Then you would create a flyer. It would just be in the print section. They have some templates. They have a bunch of options through here. Give it a second to load. But you can see they have a bunch of templates and they have them sorted. So listings, lead generation, business basics, KW events, holidays. So you can go by the month through here and you can kind of see what options they have if you want to use their templates. And then they have some more down below as well. So then you can go in, just click on that and edit that flyer to download it from there. Go back out here. But these designs will generally integrate directly with you can send them with direct mailers in command. So you can create your postcards in here and then send them out. Email designs to send out to your email campaigns and things like that. Next, we have our listings applet, and this is where you can find your listings will be listed as they come through the KWLS, as if you have your MLS ID added to command, which I showed you back when we were looking at my profile, where you would see that here. Then you can just sync your MLS. You should only have to sync it once, and then you should see your listings popping up right here as they come through. You can create collections for your clients. So if you want to create a collection and share it, you can do it here. Or if you just want to search for listings, you can search through here, either by zooming in on the map or, searching for the address. You have options through there as well. And then finally, we have our website's applet down on the left-hand side. Here, in our settings here, we'll look at this first. You can go to Manage Settings, and this is going to be your marketing profile. Anything with a red asterisk is going to be a required field, so you want to make sure you have that information through here. Again, your marketing profile is going to be your external information, so it's going to be what shows up on your KW agent site, as well as what shows up on your campaigns and things like that. It's going to be where that information gets pulled from. So you want to make sure this is up to date through here. One thing I want to point out, so you have your contact information here, and then you also have your market center and brokerage information. This is a fairly new update. Actually, they've kind of been making a lot of changes since January to the market center information. So you have options through here now. When you just select your individual market center, the information down below is going to be grayed out. It will pull directly from your market center's information, so you don't have to go in and fill out that information individually yourself. So it will automatically pull in all of that, and it will be more read only. So you can kind of see it, but you can't make any changes there. That applies when you select your market center. If you're in a business center or a mega agent office, you can select that from the list down here as well. So again, your market center and then your primary market center, you can select that in here. If you want to update the information in here, you can just click right here, the brokerage name, and you can add a custom office, and that's going to allow you to go in and enter all of that information in manually. So you can go in and fill that out if you want to use maybe a different color for the market center logo or something like that. You can go in and fill that out yourself. Next, we have my photo. One thing to note, you do need to save the changes each time. I'll just close without saving those changes. So you would just have to save the changes for each page. So your photo, you'll want to upload your headshot. They do recommend 360 by 360 pixels, and I would strongly recommend sticking to that. If it's bigger than that, especially if it's not a square, it's going to stretch funny. Sometimes it'll be blurry or it can cut off your head, which is really defeats the whole purpose of a headshot. So I just recommend you stick with that 360 by 360 pixels. You can use like a free website like imageresizer.com, and they can, resize your image for you for free. So that doesn't need to be an issue. You can get it resized easily. You can also send it to us. We're happy to resize it for you. There's options there if you're not sure how to resize it. Team logo, same thing, 360 by 360s is going to be the recommended size through there. But you can go through, fill out your details through here. I will point out your license number is not a required field. It is strongly recommended though. It can cause some errors with pulling from merge tags when you try to send out an email campaign. So we just recommend adding your license number in here to make sure you don't have those errors. Preferences, if you want to display your Keller Home Loans, Keller Covered, neighborhoods on your agent site. Service areas, if you want to set those, so you can make them the same as your market center, or you can, create your own through here as well. We have tip videos on our YouTube as well that walk you through that. Legal footer or compliance, if you're in an area that has specific compliance requirements, maybe you need to add a specific document to your footer of your website. You can add that as a link here. Upload a image here or add footer text here if you need to add that. You can link your social media through here. So that would be linked to your website. They can click on that link and be redirected directly to your Instagram or Facebook or something along those lines. Referral links, you can find your consumer app URL. It'll be branded directly to you. So you can just copy that and share it directly from here. Forced registration. So if you want to limit how many properties people are able to view on your site before they're required to sign in or register if they haven't already. You can adjust those here. And then finally, you have my subdomain where you can claim the website URL. So all of them are going to end with .kw.com. So you can just enter your subdomain, which would be that first part right in here, and claim it. And that would help, that would get your website launched there. Once it's been launched, you have this manage website button right here. The first thing you'll see is this editor where you have some limited options to go through and make changes to your website. So you can create a couple of templated pages through here. Most of that's going to be done in expert mode, but we can add blog posts here, or we can go to the design studio and change the theme, so the color and the font. We can go in and play around with that to make it a color theme that we like. If we want to make custom pages, custom landing pages, you're just going to go to expert mode up here. Take a second to load. And then you can go in and create those pages. You can edit existing pages down below. There's a lot more options for editing through here. So that really covers all that we have in Command. I know it's, again, a bit fast-paced. I see there's a bunch of questions. I'm going to jump into those. But if you are not sticking around for questions, thank you for joining me. I hope it was helpful for you, and I hope you have a fantastic week ahead.